Welcome back, fishers. So this episode's on using a de-hooker and how to de-hook a shark. You want to be able to keep those fingers of yours. You want to be able to release the shark fast and healthy, and you want to be able to do it without bending your hook or having to cut your trace because you can't get your hook out. So there's quite a few different ways of doing it. Sometimes you've got to pull the hook out, twist the hook out. We'll also show you how to pull that trace so it disengages the barb to make life easier getting that hook out. So let's get into it. Show people how to use this de-hooker.
Righto.
Get it right. Just make sure you get the belly of the hook. Don't get the shaft. So give it a bit of a jiggle. There we go. So that's straight out, people. So I wanted to show you how to de-hook a shark here. As you can see, I'm pulling the trace in the direction of disengaging the barb as far as possible, and then Joey's just got to get that de-hooker in and tweak it, and there you go. So it's tweaked out, but you've got to help the barb pull through halfway as far as you can with the trace first. Just show you this again. See what Joey's doing there? Forward back, give it a jiggle, and you're making that hole just a little bit bigger, and it helps get the barb out. Then see here, I give it a full yank as Joey turns it on the last hard heavy turn. So you're doing the last turn together. When you've got two men, it makes it so much easier. So this is a good way to show you. Watch Joey's right arm as I go for the last turn on the de-hooker here. So I've got the hook in the right spot of the de-hooker, and then I'm loading it up, and Joey's arm's gone across, putting plenty of tension on that trace, which helps the barb disengage, and there it goes, pops straight out, all in one motion, and pulling it across at the same time as that last turn, like in the last clip we just showed you, really helps. So, little sharks. Little sharks are the hardest to de-hook, but if you use a bigger hook, it makes it easier. This is a 14-0 in pretty much one of the smallest sharks you can get, and it helps a lot because the shark's got a mouthful of hook in it. Little sharks, they're always hard to handle. You've got big gear, you're pulling them in 3 minutes, they got plenty of energy, and they're so bendy. They're so light and so fast and so aggressive. Big sharks make it so much easier because you've got so much weight. They're not rolling around when you're turning the de-hooker. They're a lot more solid, and they're just laying there. It's a catch-22, but because their skin's so much tougher, that's why two people on the job make it so much easier. But here's another little shark around that 2 foot mark, and angry as anything, full of energy, won't sit still. But like I said, the bigger hook helps. If you had a little 9-0 or 10-0 in here, you got to find the hook with your de-hooker, and just a bigger hook helps a lot, trust me. So this one here, as you can see, plenty of energy, and then we get the de-hooker in the right spot, mouthful of hook, straight out first go, and then as usual they got plenty of energy and they are off and out of there straight away. Hammers. We got this hammer in about 12 minutes. It was around the 10 foot mark, I think, on the dot. And as you'll see, it come in pretty aggressive and a lot of energy because we got it in so quick. Hammers are a pain to de-hook because obviously their mouth is at the bottom like a ray, and we'll show you that what we mean in a minute. But you've got to tilt it to the side, and yeah, definitely 2 men, makes it a lot easier. As you can see, this one had super energy and it was not happy with me, which I probably deserved it. Good crack. Lived up to its name and hammered me in the head. But if you see here, I've got it on its side so we can see the corner of its mouth. That helps heaps. And then offer a nice, safe, healthy release. Away it goes. Now this is a great bit of footage showing circle hook right in the corner of its jaw. It's done its job, and that's where we want it. But that doesn't always happen, does it? Let's be real. Here's one here. This is about 4 years ago when we used to use double hook rigs, which we don't anymore. They just cause chaos. We don't sell them anymore, won't sell them even if you want them. And they foul hook, hurt the shark more, and will bend your hook. If you're not sure what we're getting at with the double hook rigs, we'll show you now, but it is extremely important. Like I said, I will not sell double hook rigs no matter what. I've had mates just beg me for them and then they've paid for it later. It causes bent hooks, things like that, and I'll show you in this picture. Now this might cause a bit of a argument, but I don't care who you are. I've learnt this the hard way a couple of times and I wouldn't listen, and yeah, I had to learn the hard way like a few others. Others probably haven't put two and two together. There's a lot of people that still run double hook rigs out there. Now double hook rigs are fine for small sharks, but when you start getting that big heavy shark on big heavy drags, then this will be the reason why you've lost that shark or damaged your shark tackle. So I've only used this picture for one reason. It's a perfect picture of a double hook rig hookup in the worst way possible. You might be looking at this thinking that's sweet, it's hooked twice, it's not going anywhere. But what happens there is the front hook hooks perfect in the corner of the jaw, even the barb's out, couldn't be a better hookup. The second hook, the trail hook, it's dug in behind the gills. Now look at that trace from the trail hook to the front hook. It is just stretched out, it's straight as, there's no slack in that. So when that hammer or whatever shark you've got on bends to the left, there's no give, there's no drag, there's no rod bend from that trail hook to the front of the hook. Now 800 to 1000 pound cable isn't gonna snap before a hook bends. Now what you'll get there is a hook bend straight and come out, or it's just too strong and it will just rip through the skin of near those gills and rip out, and you might lose your hook, or you might lose just the fish itself from ripping out through the skin. This one here, the front hooks so well that this is probably the reason this got in, and depending on the fight too, and depending on the drag, you know, if you're going to fight a shark for 4 hours on 15 kilos of drag, then yeah, you're never going to bend anything. But this is the worst way you can do it, and like I said, I've lost a couple of my biggest sharks to this date because of this reason, and I know of others as well. One mate just begged for him and I sent it his way. Six months later he said, yeah, I should have listened to you, he bent hooks. So if you've lost a couple of stonkers, your rod's buckled over and you're like, this is my biggest fish for sure, and then you've lost it and gears come back a bit wrecked or hooks are straight and you're running double rigs, this is the reason. But remember, I'm not talking about 7, 8, 10 foot sharks. I'm talking about, you know, your 12, 13 plus. You know, I've gotten these sharks around 11, 12 foot with double hook rigs, and then the ones I've lost are the, you know, over 1,000 pounders. So if you're sitting there saying, nah, they work, I'm not talking about the smaller sharks here. Here's another clip of a bad reason to use double hooks. So it was half pinned in the corner of the jaw by the front hook where the D-hook has got a hold of the front hook there, and the other hook, the trail hook, was down its throat, which obviously you can't get your hand down there, but you just don't want a hook down its throat or down into its gut bag. So that's showing you again how a double hook rig can foul hook, and you just don't want that foul hook. You don't want it down the throat foul hooking, and you don't want it foul hooking on the skin either. They're just no good. So thanks for watching anyway, guys. We're only doing it to show you what we've gone through, what we've learnt, and we hope it helps you. All happy fishing. If you've got your own way of doing it, that's the go, as long as you're looking after the sport, looking after the sharks, and looking after those fingers. So chuck in the comments whatever you like, if this helped, and which we hope it did. And just remember, this is just our way of doing it and the way we've learned along the way, and we think it's the easiest and safest. So yeah, we're not telling you what to do or how to do it, we're just showing you if you need any help. So plenty more videos to come, people. Got some footage in the mail now, Joey's last couple of trips, and got some good sharks and great weather, and he had some great couple of holidays out there, so keep an eye out for them. This was just a tip video, try and give you a hand as I said, and a few more tip videos to come. So keep an eye out for the new vids, and we'll see you soon. You!